Whew. So this video is long overdue, but before that, I actually live in a city called Cebu City here in Philippines, and I'm dedicating this video to my city. Anyways, I'm going to be drinking from this cup which says I love Cebu. It's just like an orange juice. It's chilled, cold, very nice. Okay, let's head into the video. So a couple of weeks back, I actually did post a video where I talked about some of the things I did not like about Philippines. I actually did get a lot of reactions from the video. Some people were like, Adii, the reason why it's very difficult to open a bank account here as a Nigerian is because some Nigerians here do fraudulent activities. You know, you can go back to that video because I actually replied those comments. But I actually did say that in as much as there are things I don't like about Philippines, that does not mean that there are no good things about here. There are absolutely amazing things I love about living in Philippines, and that's what today's video is about. Well, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you are good wherever you're watching me from. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Adii, and I am a third-year medical student currently living and studying in Philippines. I precisely live in a city called Cebu City in Cebu, so that's where I currently live and study. And like I mentioned, I am in my third year, about to finish my third year of medical school. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be sharing some of the things I love about Philippines. Actually, I'm going to be sharing 5 things I love about living here and studying here in the Philippines. So if this is a video you would like to watch, then I'll see you shortly. So the first thing I would say I love about Philippines is their medical education and generally their system of education. I think I've mentioned this several times on my channel. It's actually very easy to get into medical school here. That I'm speaking as a Nigerian, because in my country it's not very easy to get into medical school. Not just that, you're certain about the number of years. So in medicine, you have to have a pre-med or a first degree to be admitted into the medical school. If you already have a first degree or a pre-med back in your country, you can actually be admitted into the 4 years medical school directly. And if you don't have a pre-med or if you don't have a first degree, you would have to do a pre-med here, which is about 1 to 1.5 years depending on the school. I think some schools is even 2 years, but in my own school the pre-med program is 1 year. So 1 year pre-med, 4 years of medical school. At the end of the day, you'll be graduating like in 5 or 6 years. At least you're very certain that in 4 years, in 5 years, depending on if you have a pre-med or not. If you already have a pre-med, like in my own case, I studied biochemistry at the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, so I got enrolled directly into the 4 years med school program. And here you're sure that after 4 years you're graduating. So far, like I always mention, so far you're paying your tuition, so far you're not failing any course, you're passing your courses. If they tell you 4 years, trust me, 4 years is 4 years. That's one of the things I really do love about medical school here. And generally, I think it also relates to other departments and other faculties like nursing, engineering. Like, there is nothing like strike. As I speak now back in Nigeria, there's this body called ASU. ASU is like a body for universities. So currently right now they are on strike. So students are currently at home. So when there is strike, that means if your program is, let's say, 4 years, right, and they go on strike for, let's say, 6 months or 7 months, that means you already automatically have extra 6 months. So if your program is 4 years, at the end of the day you may be graduating after 5 years. And if you're in med school in Nigeria, I don't even want to go there because med school in Nigeria is 6 years, right? But that's if there is no ASU strike or you don't have any delays. I've seen people who studied medicine in Nigeria for 9 years I kid you not, I'm not joking. I have seen people who did med school in Nigeria for 9 years. So for me, studying here in the Philippines is one of the best things that has happened to me, I would say, because of the system of education here. Even with the whole pandemic, with the whole typhoon that happens, we are still back on schedule. Like, I don't know how, but everything is literally very organized here. In my first year, we're about, I think, 400 students that were enrolled, but you won't even know that you guys are like 400 in a class, because they section us into sections. We had about 4 sections, and under the sections you're also being subdivided into small groups, so you won't really know that you have lots and lots of classmates, unlike in government schools in Nigeria. Like, you can get admitted, but there are lots of people in the class. Sometimes it's just chaotic. I absolutely love the educational system here. So the second thing I also love about here is that Philippines is relatively affordable. Now, when I say it's relatively affordable, that's when you're comparing it to maybe countries like studying in the US, or studying in the UK, or studying in Canada, or studying in like countries like Australia, right? It's relatively affordable. Med school here, it's roughly about 5,000 or a little bit about 5,000 US dollars per year. That's, I'm speaking for my own school. You can't even compare it to countries like, let's say, the US, where people pay huge amount. In fact, most students don't even pay directly. They have to take student loan to be able to go to med school, and then after med school they will have to start paying off the student loan. Some people pay it off like in after several years, but it's not like that here. With $5,000, 6,000 US dollars per year, you can actually find a good school, a reasonably good school here. And when it comes to rent also, I would say, I'm comparing this to other countries I mentioned earlier. It's also relatively affordable. Food is affordable. Even if you decide to buy out, like even if you decide to eat out, it's not that expensive. But if you're making your own meals, there's a local market where you can actually buy fresh food items and make your meals yourself, and they are relatively very affordable, I would say. Coming to the rent is also affordable. Like I mentioned, I think I've made a video where I showed you guys my apartment, and I also stated how much we pay per month in the apartment. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment actually. Rent here is very affordable, relatively affordable. And when it comes to even the transport system is very organized and also affordable. That's if you want to take the public transport system, with just 11 peso, we can get to your destination. 11 peso is barely about 21 cents or 110 naira if you're converting it to naira. So I just feel like the rent, tuition, it's relatively affordable, you know, compared to all those other countries I mentioned earlier. And the third thing I like about Philippines is their simple way of life. Filipinos are just very simple people. How do I explain this? That's just the word. They're just very simple people. They are very content with what they have. You can see a Filipino, like maybe they just maybe live in a 1-bedroom or just a single room, and they're just content people. They go out, buy their food, buy their street food, 20 peso, 30 peso, 40 peso, eat. I just like that aspect of them. They are very contented people. They are not, would I say, greedy? Their way of life is very simple. Even in church here, you know how, let's be honest, you know, we Nigerians, we are very extra. Here in church, just a jean and a polo, it's okay. Like, they are dressing, there's no extra drama. You know how on Sundays back in Nigeria, you tie your gele, you know, wear this one, you know, do this design and all of that. It's not like that here. Sunday, you can even see the pastor will be on jean and a shirt, you know, or you see the members, they'll just wear something simple, flat shoe or even flat slippers. Like, nobody sends, like nobody cares basically. And it's absolutely something I love about here. They have a very simple way of life, and also they are very resilient people. I actually did mention this before during the typhoon. In case you don't know what typhoon is just like let's say a hurricane. It happened during December last year. That was my first time of experiencing it, because that was when it came to my city, that Cebu city. And to be honest, I was mentally, like, my mental health was at stake then. But you see Filipinos, they'll just come out of it, because then there was no light, no electricity, no water. It was difficult for me, to be honest. I was depressed. I would come out on the streets to charge my phone. You will see Filipinos, they would gather together, chat, laugh, they're just happy. I'm like, oh my God, how are you guys coping in this situation? You know, it's something I try to learn from them. They are very resilient. They can cope or live in any situation. Do you get? And it's something I really cannot relate with initially, but I just feel like this is how they are, and something I really do love about them. They are simple, content, and resilient people. The fourth thing I love here is that there is constant electricity. I know if you're not a Nigerian, if you're not from Nigeria, you may not really, you know, understand this point, but if you're a Nigerian, then you can relate better to what I'm saying. Here in Philippines, there is 24 hours electricity supply. They barely take the light here. The only time they take light here, they would even like send a message, but even though I don't really receive message, I don't know why, but they do send message to say that there won't be light at so and so time. Probably there's something that's spoiled that they need to fix. Aside that, 24/7 electricity. If you're not a Nigerian, I believe you cannot relate to what I'm saying. To live in Nigeria with 24/7 electricity supply, you have to live in very highbrow areas or maybe in service apartments. But here, electricity is like a basic, a normal thing. Even, I don't want to use the word poorest, even let's say poorest, even the least person here has access to 24/7 electricity supply, and that's something I really love about Philippines. In case you don't know, in Nigeria we have what we call generators. When the power goes off, we have to turn on our generators, and trust me, here in Philippines, generators are not common. In my street, I've barely seen a generator. I think I've seen it only once, and that was during the typhoon when there was total blackout. So a couple of places had generator, but it's not something that it's common, it's not regular. But in Nigeria, almost every family has a generator. In fact, you have to buy the bigger your generator, the bigger, you know, you are. And it's something I really love about here. No jokes, you know, the constant electricity. And I wish it's something we can have in Nigeria, something that even the least person, even the poorest people can have access to, because unfortunately for now, as I speak, it's not like that in my country. The fifth thing I would say I love about Philippines is that it's relatively safe. You barely hear about cases of kidnapping or cases of rape or cases of where people like armed robbery. I'm not sure I've literally heard about that, like where you have armed robbers going into people's house to steal. I've not really heard about that. Cases of kidnapping, it's not something very common here. I'm not saying that there are no crime here. I'm not saying that there are no people that steal. Of course, in every society you will get to have that, but I'm saying the proportion, it's very minimal. No kidnapping, no armed robbery, you know. Because of where I come from, I'm not trying to talk down on my country in any way. I'm just trying to, like I always say, I like to balance things out. I'm not the kind of person that I'm blind to something. I know what is going on in my country, and I know what is going on here in Philippines because I have lived in both countries. Currently, right now in Nigeria, there's just a whole lot of chaos. It's either you heard of this kidnapping going on here, or you heard of these people killing these people. Now it's now between the Christians and the Muslims. The Muslims killing the Christians and destroying their things. It's just a whole chaotic situation right now, and I feel Nigeria is not the things going on currently in Nigeria is something I'm really personally not happy about. But I really love here because it's relatively safe. I mean, for even the common man, the least person, it's relatively safe. to live here in Philippines, and it's one of the things I really do appreciate about this country. I've never had a situation where you have Christians and Muslims fighting. I've never heard about that, and it's something I really appreciate about this country. You're free to serve whoever or whatever God you're serving in peace without, you know, getting attacked, you know. And I think that's one of the things I love about Philippines. And of course, a bonus point, I would say it's the 6 points, which is my bonus point. I know it's going to sound funny, but that's just the truth. You guys, you see this street chicken, those ones they fry by the roadside. Oh my god, like, I love it. I love Jollibee, I love McDonald's, I love all of those, but there's this particular chicken they sell by the streets. It's street chicken, like they fry it. I don't know how they make it, but it's literally so nice. They normally eat it with rice, white rice, and then you can have it with your sauce, like soy sauce, and I think they mix the soy sauce with vinegar. But you guys, it's really delicious. My housemates, they usually joke with it that maybe when I leave Philippines they normally say that when I leave Philippines is one of the things I'll miss about here. And to be honest, that chicken, it's very crunchy. Like, I'm not sure you can get that anywhere. And there's this particular woman on the next street, like few streets away from mine. She makes it very well. They sell it for 30 pesos, very affordable. You can buy 1 or 2 with the rice. Oh my god. That, I really love it, and I'm sure if I go back to Nigeria, that's one of the food I really miss here. I absolutely love the street fried chicken. And so that's the last point for this video. But before I round up this video, a couple of weeks ago I got an email from YouTube, and they mentioned that I can now also get additional support from my subscribers. And if you just check on, I'm going to be showing you guys, if you check at the bar where you have the like, dislike, share, download, you can see a heart sign that has $sign inside, which says thanks. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to be posting it on the screen. So when you click that, there are different amounts you can actually click on and support this channel. If you found any content valuable to you, and if you feel like you want to support your girl, you can actually do that. And also, you can also support this channel by liking it. Just a like from you goes a long way, because it's going to the YouTube algorithm, the more the likes, the more likely the YouTube algorithm is going to notice this video and also push it and promote it for other people to view. So if you want to support me, you can use the super thanks to donate to my channel. You can give it a like, you can subscribe, you can share my video with your family and your friends. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.